not to make acting my entire life. I feel like when I used to spiral and stuff, it's because acting was my whole life and my whole world, and and it's like, no, now acting is just a part of what I do and a part of who I am. I don't put my life on hold for acting. I don't stop what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's the big thing that changed in me, that I'm like living my life, doing things that make me happy, that bring me joy, surrounding myself with good people, having good conversations, a good tribe. And now I have that community and that, I'm doing other things, that are all, I'm not putting all my efforts into acting.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Givin Game Podcast. I'm your host, Rickey! And today's guest is another special one. Today's guest is an actress, singer, songwriter. You've probably seen her on The Fosters, Legacies, Dear White People, The Neighborhood, and NCIS. She's also on the Dear White People soundtrack, and her new single, Problem, is out now. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Joi Liaye.
Hi, Rickey.
What
I
up?
can always tell when someone really knows me by how they pronounce my name correctly. Because, if you butchering it, we ain't that close.
We're that close.
But you see how it just rolled off his tongue?
Hey, you feel
that
me?
means
That's
we
it.
go way back.
Way back.
Way back.
Background days.
Background days.
Doing music videos.
Okay.
For
Oh, my God.
Avril Lavigne.
Oh, my God. My hero. Avril, I love you.
Avril Lavigne.
That was a dream for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be on set with Avril Lavigne. She got me through so much stuff through childhood.
Really?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yes. Avril, I was probably damn near crying on set, just
What?
being in her midst. Yes,
Wow.
that was one of my childhood heroes.
What?
Her music
Yeah.
got me through so much.
I didn't know who she was when we did the video. So we did a video with Avril Lavigne called Here's to Never Growing Up.
Oh, yeah.
Here's to Never Growing Up.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a comeback song or something for her.
Yeah, it was the first time in a while. And I was like, who is this? I didn't
Yeah.
even know who she was. Then the shit hit YouTube and did crazy numbers. I was like, oh, this motherfucker is the shit.
Superstar.
Yeah.
Yes.
To start it off, where are you from?
I am from Detroit, Michigan.
D-Town.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm from the D,
okay.
yes.
How long have you been in LA?
I've been in LA since 2010.
2010.
Yeah, so
So-
it's been a minute.
Oh, wow. So when you were in Detroit, were you pursuing acting or music or anything out there, or?
So pretty much acting and music is all I've known. That's all I've been passionate about, really.
Really?
That and food. My entire life. I just remember being on the playground in 4th grade, just being I don't need this because I'm going to grow up and get a record deal and all, it's always been my dream.
What?
So yeah, I've always sang. I used to do talent shows and things like that. And then I discovered acting in middle school. And then in high school, I discovered musical theater. And I was like, wait, I can act and sing at the same time? It was this
damn.
whole new world for me.
A
It
whole
was this
new
whole
world.
new world.
Ooh.
It was a whole new world for me. So, I was super passionate about musical theater. I was in a thespian troupe where we would do competitions
What?
with our musical. We would tour with our musical and compete against other thespian groups.
What?
It was intense.
And this
so,
was how old were you when you were doing that?
I was all through high school.
All through high school?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So when did you make that transition to LA, and what made you, come out this way?
So
Yeah.
I grew up going to studio sessions and stuff.
Okay.
And so I was around a lot of artists, and then I was acting all the time, but I didn't really know how to make that into a career. And so I remember just being I want to go to Spelman. It's an all girls black college, and maybe I'll study film or something. And then I thought about NYU because I'm ooh, New York, and I'll study film. And then I actually auditioned for a performing arts college called AMDA. And they had held auditions in Detroit, and my musical theater teacher really pushed me to audition. And I was like, okay, it's just another audition. I was used to singing musicals all the time anyways.
Yeah.
So I went to the audition in downtown Detroit, and I was offered a scholarship to go to the school. Yeah, and so they have a LA location and a New York location, and I decided to go to LA. Never been here before. I didn't visit LA until I moved here. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm moving to Hollywood. I get to Hollywood, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Because like the school is right across from Capitol Records, so it's like you're in the. Yeah. I'm like, this is.
It's not like what it's like on TV. On TV, they show you like Hollywood, the glamour, then they go straight to Beverly Hills.
Exactly.
They don't show you
the
like
grit.
The grit and what's going on
the
really
grit.
in Hollywood.
You know, I wasn't really exposed to like that kind of area growing up like that. You know what I mean? So when I came to Hollywood, I was like, oh, wow. It was a culture shock on so many different levels. Yeah, it was just a culture shock. Just being from Michigan. It's very beautiful there. Yeah. It's very flat. There's only like, I know there's a lot of races in Detroit, but like I grew up, the majority is black, white, and like some kind of Middle Eastern, you know? And so I move here and it's like this melting pot.
Yeah, it's eclectic. It's just so many people. Yeah.
So it was a culture shock, but a good one. And and I've never left.
Wow. Was that the only class you were taking? Did you stay there for a certain amount of time and then go to another class, or like how?
So I was in the BFA program. It's super intense in a good way. But you know, you're 18 years old and they pair you up, they group you up and with like probably 15, 20 other students. Yeah. And that's your group for every single class. So 8 a.m. on Mondays, we had ballet. Thursdays, we had jazz. You know, we have musical theater class. We have acting class. We have voice and speech class. Yeah. Like, it's intense. And I really enjoyed it. Yeah. But it got to a certain point where I felt like my dreams were bigger than the four walls I was in every single day. And I was like, I want to go do it. That's how I learned, by doing it, you know? And at the time, you know, I had a LA casting account. And so I was constantly submitting for things. Really? And then I was like getting a lot of stuff. And I booked this Diggy Simmons music video. It was like his first single. What? It was called Do It Like You, featuring Jeremiah. What? And I booked it off Twitter.
Oh, Twitter?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Like the casting director tweeted like, looking for, you know, African-American, this age, blah, blah. And I submitted my picture. And the next thing you know, I'm on set the next morning. This is before Uber existed. I took a taxi. I skipped school at AMDA that day. I skipped a whole full day of classes. I took a taxi from Hollywood all the way to like East LA or something. And, you know, I have no sense of where I am.
You don't know where you're at.
I don't know where I'm at.
I'm going to this Diggy Simmons shoot. I don't care where it's at.
It was probably like a $60, $70 taxi. I get there. And I'm the leading lady. What? Yes. And that music video was on 106 in Park, like number one for months.
Kids don't know about 106 in Park.
Yeah, y'all don't know about 106.
Y'all know about 106
I was on 106.
Yeah, I was on 106.
But that was like such a fun experience. And I got to like, you know, act and like I got paid. Like they let me set my rate. And I never, you know, done that before. They wrote me a check, like and then that was like getting a lot of traction, and a lot of his fans were like finding me on Twitter and YouTube, and you know, there were some nasty comments, some colorist comments.
Yeah, there's always comments.
Yeah. I would submit myself for certain things on casting networks, and the first thing I ever booked was on this project called Funny or Die, and that was the first thing I ever booked, and my check was for $20.
What?
$20. And I know it's just $20, but when you get paid.
I was about to say, how excited were you?
I was so excited. I was like, wow, I just got paid for doing kind of what I love. Being on set. Whoa. Dang. And that was like one of my first set experiences ever, if not very first.
But that's dope though. You were making progress towards what you wanted to do. Even like little bookings here and there was like confirmation that you made the right choice to come out here.
It felt good. Yeah. It felt good. And I feel like I was just chasing that feeling of like, I want more consistency in this.
I like that. I like that. And that's cool because you were like, you want more of that. Even it didn't matter about the check.
Exactly.
Like, it was like, yo, I'm doing what I love and I'm getting paid. Like $20. Like
$20.
What?
Travis got $50. Like, or Travis Porter, my bad. Travis Porter, $50. Like,
and you pretty much paying to be there.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're like, I spent a $50 taxi to get there to get paid $20. Like, you in debt leaving that job.
Literally.
How did you start working? So after you left AMDA, like what happened after AMDA?
So this is what happened. While I was in AMDA, because I was still auditioning. I had my first audition for a short film. Okay. Because that's like, you know, I'm like, oh, I want to act. Yeah. And so I have the audition, and the feedback from the casting director was like, good work, but a little too theatrical for this film. Like, gotta tone it down. And then I realized, wow, I've never done like on camera acting. I've only done theater. I've only been big.
Yeah.
And I need to learn how to be more small and more, you know, and then it was just all those things piled up, me wanting to be on set more, me wanting to like get experience and be better. And I'm like, I can't be here no more. So I left AMDA.
What?
I left after 2 years.
After 2 years? And where'd you go after that?
To my house. The thing about AMDA is you can't miss too much school, and they don't allow you to actually work on sets while you're in school because they feel like you're not a finished product as a performer yet. And I didn't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah,
either.
and your grade level goes down each time you like miss a class.
It's like, I'm sorry, I'm shooting with Steven Spielberg. I'm about to go to the fucking class.
Exactly.
No, we don't think you're. Well, Steven Spielberg thinks I'm ready.
Exactly.
I'm about to miss.
Exactly.
So what did you like do? Like, what class did you take another class, or like how did you start to transition into starting to work?
So after I dropped out of college, after the semester ended, I didn't go back. And then, I spent a week or two trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to find a commercial agent. So I went to Samuel French. I got that yellow book.
Samuel French.
Y'all don't know about Samuel French.
Samuel French.
Rest in peace. I got manila envelopes.
Yeah.
I printed off whatever headshot that I got taken in Detroit. So not even up to, LA standards. And I sent a cover letter and a resume, and all it has really is like my music video stuff and like, my theater stuff. Yeah. I sent that manila envelope to 12 different agencies.
What?
12.
And how many you got back?
1.
What?
And I'm still with him.
Who is it?
Daniel Hoff Agency.
Come on, Hoff gang.
I have so much love for Daniel Hoff because he's the one person who first gave me a chance. I sent out 12.
What?
And I got with the best.
Yeah, man. top of show, man. Yeah. So, dang, that's amazing. Yeah. Still to this day.
Yeah. And then after that, booking.
So that's what I want to say. So how did you start booking like those commercials that you were booking? Like, were you training? Like,
no, I didn't take any commercial classes.
You didn't take any commercial classes?
No. At that time, I feel like I was one of the very few Black girls that wore their natural curly hair. And so I feel like that had an advantage, especially at that time, because a lot of girls had their hair straightened or permed. And I was the young, bubbly Black girl with the curly fro at that time. See, now everybody got a curly fro, and now it's a trend. Now it's a trend.
He said,
it's a trend.
I coined that.
I coined that, and that's when I feel like a lot of advertisers were really looking for that look of, natural.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that curly, that's what they was looking for sure.
Yep. And so Daniel Hoff, so after I left college and then like tried to figure out my life, I'd say within like a few months, I figured everything out, sent, my stuff to the agencies. And then next thing you know, he would just send me out, and I like booked my first thing that I got with him. I think it was a Samsung commercial. Then I booked JCPenney. Then I booked Kohl's.
So so how did that happen though? Like what do you think, what do you attribute that to? Like with no actual like
training,
what clicked for you, or what really separated you as opposed to like the look as well? Like I feel like there had to be some type of skill that you were bringing that not everybody else was at the time.
Honestly, I think I just let my true self shine through. And I just let my personality shine through. I didn't get, scared as soon, when I got into the audition room. I took my time. I walked in. I was confident. I'm like, this is who I am. So take it or leave it. And I feel like that really shines through on camera. Like you have to, like who you are, like let your essence like light up the room, light up the commercial, like that's really what I think it is. It's just I let whoever I am, whoever I was, I just let my true self just shine through.
It's been echoed a lot through this podcast. Like everybody's like, you have to get to know who you are and like be you. Don't try to be what you think they want you to be. Like be your natural self, your natural quirky, corny, whatever your thing is. Don't turn that down.
Right.
Like, you gotta pump that up. If you do like little weird shit and people like, oh, that shit weird. Like some people try to like, suppress that, and they're like, oh man, that's weird. I want to be cool. But it's like, nah. in acting, you want to let that shine because
through.
that's what's going to get you the job. That's what's going to book you to work. So,
and I think that's such a good reminder because it's so easy for me to do that commercially, but then with TV and film, I probably don't do that as much.
Why do you think that is?
It just feels more like there's more pressure. There just feels like there's more pressure. There's more on the line. This could change my life.
This could change my life.
This could change my life. But, you know, I think the roles that I have gotten, it's because I was my true self. I let
TV and film.
Yep, in TV and film, it's like I let myself shine through that character versus the things I wanted so bad.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to, you know, formulate. And it's like it ain't natural because that's not human.
No, it's
that's
not.
Not human.
It's not.
We all have our quirks. We all have our weirdness. We all have our, you know, certain personality traits. It's like you got to let that shine through the character.
Yeah. I like that. So did you take more classes after AMDA, or have you?
Oh yeah. So then
coaching or anything like
Daniel Hoff put me in Leslie Kahn's comedy intensive,
Yeah.
And then he also put me in Ivana Chubbuck.
Oh, Ivana Chubbuck.
Yeah, because I feel like he saw a lot of potential, even more potential in me.
Yeah.
And so he told me what to do.
Yeah.
You know, where to go, who to train with.
Yeah.
Headshots to take. I took new headshots for him with a great photographer, and I remember. Man, because I still didn't have a car, and I remember walking to my headshot appointment, and I was just like walking like through a sketchy part of downtown for like a mile or two after the train or the bus dropped me off, and I just remember being like, "Whew, this better be worth it." And then I did my headshots, and they were phenomenal. And then afterwards, it was dark, and I had to walk to the bus station at night, and I just remember crying with all my stuff on my back, just being like. Ooh, like, I hope this is going to be worth it. Like, it was hard. It was hard.
I bet, yeah.
It was really hard. But, so I did those classes. Those were all really great.
Yeah.
And then I just kept booking and booking. I booked my first national within, like, less than a year with him for McDonald's. Baby. Daniel Hoff called me like, hey, we just got, like, your first round of checks from McDonald's. You want to come pick it up? And I'm like, okay. I kind of thought it was weird because usually they would mail it. But I was like, okay. Hopped up, got on the train, got on the bus, got to the agency, and Garrett, one of the agents there, he hands me the check, and I open it, and I saw the number, and I just like closed it and sat back down and wait for Daniel Hoff to come get me. And then Garrett looks over at me, and he was like, Joy, you just got an X amount of check. It's okay to smile. And I was like, and then I bought a car. Because I'm like, I ain't taking this bus no more.
Yeah, man.
That was hard times, man. Taking the bus to auditions and then, like, you know, trying not to be late, trying to be early and having multiple auditions at a time. And then, like, got to take this bus, this train, you know, walk this far, you know, like, I grind for this.
Yeah, man.
Like, nobody knows how I was in the trenches.
I was
in the trenches. Like, I just remember being at the bus stop crying, just thinking to myself, damn, I just want to be great. Like, this is all so difficult, and I just want to be great. Like, all of the extra. I just remember literally just crying at the bus stop.
How did you overcome that?
How did I overcome that? That's a really good question.
And keep pushing.
Well, the thing is, I kept pushing every time I decided to accept an audition and go to the bus stop. Even though I cried, I wiped my tears, and I still went to go kill it. Like, I never let it bring me down. Like, I always kept my head up. You know, I always kept my head up, and then it was so worth it because then I was able to buy a brand new car off the lot from a commercial. You know, I believed in myself. I believed in my talent, my beauty, and my gifts. To where it's like nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing was gonna stop me. Yeah, this sucks, but I know this is only temporary.
There you go.
You know, and I pushed through, and now I'm so glad I didn't give up on that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because a lot of people would. Like you said, you're like, man, this is hard. Like, I got to catch the bus. Like, I'm juggling all these different things.
It's a lot because Daniel Hoff gets you auditions. So it's like I was 3, 4, 5 in a day. And it's like, I'm doing my best. That first commercial check I got, that paid my rent for months.
For months. Got a car, paid it.
I bought a brand new car.
Damn.
Which I don't recommend. Don't do that.
He's like, I'm tired of this bus. I'm getting a car right away. Right to the lot.
No, literally that week I went to the lot. What? Like I was so excited.
So how did you transition into TV and film? Like did those classes help you as
definitely.
an artist, the Leslie Kahn and the Ivana Chubbucks and stuff
Definitely.
like that?
They definitely helped me as an artist, and they were great.
Yeah.
I loved them.
So how did you
It's always good to keep learning, you know?
So how did you get your TV and film agent, like your theatrical agent?
So Daniel Hoff again, he called me to the office one day, and I met with him and a former agent, Anna Lee.
Shout out Anna Lee.
She's an OG agent from Daniel Hoff. She doesn't work there anymore, but man. And so they called me in and they asked me, how serious are you about acting? And I was like, I want to act. Yeah. I'm serious about it. Yeah. And they saw how much work I was booking commercially that they're like, they wanted to have that sit down with me to see where my head was at. And I was like, no, I really want to do acting. Yeah. And so they said, okay, we would like to develop you. Wow. And so they signed me theatrically. As
you were pursuing acting, were you still singing, or did you kind of put that on the back burner?
Actually was still singing. Okay. That's another reason I didn't have to work, because I would work with this studio to like sing vocals for them or background vocals for them, and they would pay me. What? Yeah. And then I was like working with like different producers at the time, like trying to develop my sound, taking taxis all over, taking them taxis to studio sessions. What? Just working with different people, and unfortunately, like, those situations didn't really work out. Mm-hmm. So it did get to a certain point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a pause on music since I can't really find my rhythm or the right people to work with. Yeah. And I'm just going to focus on acting because I have more support here. Because Daniel Hoff introduced me to a management company, Luber Rockland. Oh, Luber, yeah. And so we met with them together, and I've been signed with them ever since. What? And so I've just always felt very supported with my acting. Yeah. Whereas music is, especially as a woman, I've like just gone through so many just inappropriate situations or situations that have made me feel uncomfortable with working with people that it just never felt like it was the right time. Yeah. When you move to LA, do not get lost in the sauce unless you already built like that. Yeah. But I always had my head on straight. I always, made sure, the people who you hang around, it's very, 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 very important. Yeah. I wasn't hanging around the thotties. No shade to them. We all love them, but you know what I mean? I wasn't hanging around people who were doing drugs. Yeah. I wasn't, if I met a new friend on set or something and we hung out and I didn't like the situation in which we were hanging out, once we got to it, I didn't hang out with that friend anymore. I always stayed true to who I was and what I wanted and how I wanted my life to be. And so I feel like it was easy, even though it was hard as a young Black girl navigating LA in the music industry. I left those situations, like you see, it's taken me a minute because I refused to, settle,
compromise.
And exactly.
And
and compromise. And, this is my passion. Like, I'm not going to let some man, tell me I need to do this, that, and the third on him so we could put this song out. It's like, it's not going to happen. And so although it was hard and, especially, I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it. It was just like, I kind of had to figure it out. But
you came out here by yourself.
Yeah, I came out here by myself. And it's like, right from wrong. Yeah. And if something doesn't feel right, it's wrong, And so, so I left those situations and just, tried to. One thing I do wish though is like that I was more aggressive, where it's like, no, we doing this and we not doing that, and but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything really does.
I didn't know what it felt like not to book commercials until the last few years, and I'm like, I miss commercials. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not pretty, and I wish I was a little more grateful because I think I got so used to it. Yeah. And then I kind of started despising it because I'm like, this ain't what I want to do. Like, I want to be on TV and film. Like, I want to do a TV show. I want to do a movie. I don't want to do commercials. You know, I started kind of like begrudging it.
So once you started not booking, you're like, wait, hold the fuck up. I don't want to do shit anyway.
Right.
I want to do the bigger shit anyway.
Right. And but then you reach a certain point where it's like, oh, it's important to book commercials as an actor, because especially if you're going out for like really good theatrical stuff, you're not going to get them all. You know, and you need that bread and butter on the side.
When you do get it, it's not going to be that much money.
Exactly.
It's not going to be no commercial money.
It's not going to be that commercial money.
You're not going to be able to buy a car off the lot with that,
exactly.
That guest star.
You're not. And I didn't understand that until I've been going through it, you know? Yeah. I just remember getting to a certain point where I was like, I want to do more. I want to, you know, as an actor, you want to express yourself. Like, I want lines on a show. I want to play a role. Like, at a certain point, it's like, okay, I did it, you know, but now I wish I was doing it. Be grateful no matter what season you're in. You know, like, just be grateful because the season you're in, you prayed for. You wanted to be there. It may not be like like right now, I want to be a series regular on a show that I love, telling a story that means something to me and that can inspire others. I'm not right now. That doesn't mean that I shouldn't be happy for where I am right now. Because the thing is, if you're not happy right now, then you ain't never going to be happy. Yeah. Because you get the series regular, then it's going to be another thing and another thing, you know?
So that's why you got to appreciate it and really
appreciate it,
you know,
while still striving, you know, but understanding that wherever you are right now is for a reason and it's building you, it's protecting you, and you're good right now, right here where you are. You
always want to just go for the next thing.
Literally.
But it's like, remember when you was like, I want this so bad, and now you're like, I got it, but now I want to move on. It's like,
literally.
All right, because if you're not thankful for this, why would God bless you with something in the future? If you're not even like acknowledging like what he's doing for you now.
Exactly.
Because it's like, okay, if you don't appreciate this shit, you definitely not going to appreciate the series regular if you're not appreciating this little co-star.
Yep. And I had to catch myself recently because I was like pinned for a recurring role on like a really big show. And I was like, oh, I want it so bad because this is going to open up doors for me for this. And I'm like, wait, why not just be with this? Why not just be grateful to be pinned for this? And if you get it, then be grateful to just be on this. Why is it always, oh, this is going to open this door for me or it's going to get eyes on me for the next thing? It's like, no, just be here now. Like, be where you're supposed to be right now. Like, I had to catch myself like, girl, you tripping.
Why are you thinking about the next job? You're not even here yet.
And it's like, no. You tripping.
You got to really, you really have to check yourself.
Check yourself.
Check yourself.
And savor that moment because me being pinned for that show, younger Joi would have been like, girl, oh my God, look, you made it. This is what we wanted. I remember, because then like I was killing commercials, and then I remember I started auditioning for TV and film, and I wouldn't hear nothing back. And I was like, how do people get like producer sessions and pins and all this stuff? And I remember Gotti had called me after months and months of theatrical auditions, like, hey, they want to put a pin in you for this film. And I was like, what does that mean? And then he explained it to me.
Well, what is a pin for those like watching?
So a pin is basically, I think it comes from like the old school term of them like really pinning you on the board, like as an option. But it's basically when it's like between you and maybe 1, 2, 3 other people for a role. And they just want to make sure you're available those dates. And, you know, it's just letting you know, like, hey, we have eyes on you. You may or may not book this. You're in the top. You're in the top 3, 4, 2, you know?
Yeah. So how did you, you know, start to get callbacks and stuff? Like, did you take classes? Did you notice something in your work that you needed to tweak to get to that next level of booking and getting pinned and stuff like that?
Well, this is the thing. Auditioning is so different from just acting. Like auditioning, there's a certain technique to you can't just be an actor in front of the camera. There's a technique with the camera, with your, you know, with your POVs and your eye contact and your breath and your you know, there's a whole technique. So I feel like I realized that, like, oh, I need to master auditioning. I know how to act. I know how to be. I know how to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances.
Come on,
but I need to learn how to audition. And so once I figured that out, I started taking a class. It was an on-camera audition technique class, and that changed the game for me.
What class was that?
Damn. His name starts with a B, and his studio's right across the street from Warner Brothers.
I think it is like Bill. Because he was married to Leslie Kahn, actually.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was married to Leslie Kahn.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely starts with a B.
Yeah, it's Bill. I'll put it in the
y'all.
In the thing.
But that changed the game for me, because at that class, like, he gives you an audition, you do it in a room, and he's like the reader for you.
Yeah.
He tapes it against the blue backdrop, and then you watch it with the whole class on the TV, so you can see how your mannerisms, just everything. And you're like, oh, that's what I look like for these. No. And you see it. And then he works with you, and you master it. And it's like, because it's an art form. Yeah. And then I had my first screen test. What? It was for, what's it called? General Hospital.
Oh, shit. What?
It was so crazy. Mark Teschner is the casting director for that. And I auditioned like in his office. And what I did differently in that audition is I used that room. My character was very like persuasive and provocative. I sat on this man's desk while he's sitting there.
What?
Doing the read with me. Yes. Yes.
So like
I got up on the desk. Like, use the room. Play.
Wow.
This is your time. Have fun. Be.
Wow.
And then I got my screen test, and I'm like,
I feel that played a huge part, because you just like, you owned it.
I owned it. Make a decision, make a choice, and own it.
Mm-hmm.
Own it.
Who else is gonna do some shit like that? It's like,
exactly.
No, I don't know. I don't want to. I still want to get called in again to this cast, and I don't want to. It's like, nah, like, fuck it. Like, this is your audition. Like, take a fucking bold step. I did that in the audition one time. It was a commercial audition, actually. I broke the fucking table.
Rickey!
It was on accident. Yeah, it was a glass fucking table.
How'd you do that?
Because it was like an excitement scene. It was like, oh, you're watching the game, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And I like went big, and I was like, ah! And I flipped the fucking table. It was a big table too, all glass.
So did you book it?
No, I got a call back. I was placed on the veil for the shit, and I was like, yo, I think they were like, because they were, the dude was like, I was like, yo, I did. He's like, that's all good. That's all good.
Living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. This is
really
what we do.
It. I was like, yeah, I had stakes and everything involved. Yep. I was like, oh, I got money on this game. Yeah, it's up here.
One of my first auditions, the Master of Sex one, I remember I went in like without my shoes or socks, because like that's how I felt the character would be. She was like a little slave maid type girl. I don't remember, but I don't remember. But I just know I went in there barefoot, and it's like, no, I didn't hear back, and nothing came from it. But I feel comfortable with the choice I made because I really had to think about it. Oh my God, what are they gonna think? I'm gonna have my shoes and socks. No, this is what I want to do. Yeah, I'm gonna have my feet.
Do what you. Yeah. I have my feet.
So yeah,
you gotta do that. You gotta own it. You gotta make strong choices and commit to them.
Yep.
And really follow through on all of those.
Follow through, and I feel like that's the overall theme of like acting and my acting career.
Yeah.
And a lesson I'm always reminding myself is follow through. Like, you said you want to do this, follow through. It's not easy, follow through. You got close, keep following through. You got this one, follow through.
Yeah, because it's a marathon. You got to keep going. So it's like, this shit ain't gonna stop.
It ain't gonna stop.
What are you acting for?
For me, it's number one, a way for me to express myself. Because I think I'm kind of more to myself, and I'm very like, I don't know, I'm kind of introverted unless you know me. Like, the reason I can talk to you like this is I feel comfortable with you. You know what I mean? But if it was like somebody I don't know, I'm just like, I'm just more like, I just be in my own world. And so I feel like acting, even from a young age, I didn't really express myself a lot. And so acting and singing were my ways to like express how I was feeling versus using like my own words. And so I'm it's my creative expression, but then also a big part of it is like inspiring girls that look like me, especially young girls, to look at me and to also tell stories that matter so that people can feel represented, and be like, hey, she's playing what I'm going through, she's telling my story. That's why I act, to represent for my culture.
Act to represent. Put on for the culture.
Put on for the culture.
For the culture. how do you deal with, not booking like TV and film?
I think it took me a while to gain the wisdom to understand that it's no personal attack on me. Because I feel like I used to not really take the rejection very well. I used to spiral. I used to spiral because especially, when you get a role and you read it and you're like, this is mine. This is me. I got this, and you kill it and you just know it and you don't, and it doesn't happen.
Nothing.
I feel like that happens so many times, and I act with my whole heart. So it's like you're constantly putting your heart out there, your soul out there. And that's getting rejected. How dare y'all, How dare you reject what I just, I just gave you everything.
I gave you my soul.
I gave you my
heart.
Yeah. And so and all the sacrifices I've made. But now, and I really used to spiral like, oh yeah, for real, like phone off for 2-3 days. Crying, it was a whole thing. But now I've decided, I have the wisdom, number one, to understand that it's no personal attack on me. It's whoever fits the story and serves the story and fits the character best. Yeah. And also I have the wisdom not to make acting my entire life. I feel like when I used to spiral and stuff, it's because acting was my whole life and my whole world. And, and it's like, no, now acting is just a part of what I do and a part of who I am. I don't put my life on hold for acting. I don't stop what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I feel like that's the big thing that changed in me, that I'm like living my life, doing things that make me happy, that bring me joy, surrounding myself with good people, having good conversations, a good tribe. And now I have that community and that, I'm doing other things, that are I'm not putting all my efforts into acting.
That's what I always tell people. It's like you can't imitate real life if you ain't got a life.
Exactly.
So you
got to experience things.
You have to experience things. You have to, and not to put all of your attention on acting.
Exactly. And that's where I messed up.
Yeah. That's where I feel like a lot of people mess up early on, because they're like, I want it so bad. I want to get it. I want to get this job. I want to be a star or whatever. But it's like, you don't know how much that's hurting your career more than it's helping it.
Yep.
It's good to have that drive and stuff, but you gotta find like an outside life, some other things to do, to put your other, to place your attention in other places, pick up hobbies and shit like that.
Because anything you force, what good comes out of forcing something? Nothing. I could take a water bottle and try to force the cap, and guess what? It's probably still not going to go on because I'm not taking my time, being gentle, being patient.
And if it does come off, it's just going to spill everywhere.
Exactly.
It's going to be crazy. It's like, oh shit, now I don't have it.
And now it's some more, it's like, so now I have so much more ease. And now, over the summer I was pinned for a role for something I really thought I was going to get. And it was really big, and it's really for the culture. And, it's on a great network. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this role. I'm pinned. Oh, and then I tested and I saw my deal that the agents worked out. Tell me why. Someone I had worked with previously was working on this show and texted me like, hey, are you working on this project? Because your name came across our desk. And I'm like, well, I just sent in my test deal, so I haven't heard anything. But if my name is on your desk, then I must be. Turns out I didn't even book it, but my name was on their desk and they're working on the project. So I feel like that was like a double slam, because not only did I not book it, but someone from the inside thought I booked it because my name was traveling on their desk as that character. And so after that, I was through.
Yeah,
I was like, are you kidding me? But now, after that experience, I mourned it and, I accepted it. And I'm like, it's not the end of the world. And I've had a couple more close things where I've got pinned for a few more things since then. Yeah. And it's like, now my agents already know, they don't really tell me when I'm pinned, or they'll call and just be like, hey, yeah, they sent your tape to producers. They responded well. They just want to see if you're available these days. They know how to keep it light with me.
I tell my reps, don't call me with no bad news.
I'm right.
Don't call me with no fucking
just
bad
know
news.
I'm available.
We can check you. I'm available. This is what I do for a living. I'm available.
I'll stop what I'm doing if you know what I mean?
What do you do when you're that close and then you don't get it? Do you, like I said, you said you used to spiral, but what do you do now? Do you go do yoga? Do you go, to the beach? What is your thing that you do now to help cope with, not getting a job?
Well, so now I chant.
You chant.
I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
What'd you say?
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
I don't even know how to repeat that. What does that
Nam
mean?
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Wait, what does that mean before I say it?
It means I devote myself to the Lotus Sutra. It's a Buddhist chant.
The Lotus Sutra.
The Lotus Sutra. Do you remember what's love got to do with it? With Tina Turner and Angela Bassett?
Yeah, no, I remember. That was a long time ago.
Remember she started chanting? Remember she started practicing Buddhism and her life changed? Usually black people know this one. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you know.
Let me know in the comments.
Because all black people have seen this movie except for Rickey, clearly.
No, I just don't remember it. That shit was like in the 90s.
Yeah,
that was like early 2000s.
You know how many times I've watched it since the 90s?
Yeah, I haven't watched that shit since you said loving basketball or some shit, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Basically, it's a Buddhist chant, and, I chant every morning and every night.
Okay.
And, it's, my Buddhist faith. And I'm basically, every time I chant, I'm aligning myself with my purpose.
Yeah.
And just trusting that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And that, whatever's going on in my life is there to serve me and to teach me, not the other way around. So it's really my faith that keeps me grounded, because I'm like, I chant every day. Like, I'm protected. I'm good. I chant for, everything to work out the way it should. Yeah. So if it didn't work out that way, that's because I chanted and it wasn't supposed to work out that way. Just having like a strong faith that you connect to and go to every day, I feel like is super important, because how can you go wrong when you have your faith? Like, how can you go wrong? Yeah. Everything's good. Everything's the way it's supposed to be. You have your faith. You pray.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, I pray. I'm gonna be good. I'm protected. Yeah. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Even when things are uncertain and I don't know and this doesn't make sense, it's like I have my faith.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that. He said so.
So I don't spiral no more.
So I'll spiral.
No more. Of course I'll be a little sad. Like, it's normal.
Yeah, it's not.
Dang, I really wanted that one.
But I noticed everybody always does different things. That's why it's like, I'm always curious, like, okay, what do you do when
what do you do?
Job? So I usually get like a pint of fucking ice cream and some shit. I usually be like, I'll be in it for like a day.
Yeah.
I binge like a show.
Same. Like, I still do that. I'm not gonna lie. I still do that.
Show. Yeah. I get some fucking ice cream. I'm like, motherfucker.
I know. And it does take a day or two.
Yeah, it took like a day, and then I'm out of it. Then I get back to it.
Yeah. The baby.
Or I go get a massage or something. Like, I always like do something to like, take your mind off it and make you feel good, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the key. Because like, even though I don't spiral anymore, I'll still like, do something that makes me feel happy.
Like, in this business, we're supposed to, keep your personal life separate and, go in and perform the job. Like, say you're going through some personal shit. Yeah. And then you have an audition for like a commercial or like a TV show. Yeah. You can't really be in that same headspace or mind space and affect your work, because that's, how you're going to get paid. So how do you get out of that headspace to go in and perform, like block that out?
Well, I think there's two things. I got great wisdom years ago in an acting class where my teacher told us to use that, like, use whatever you're going through for the scene. So like, let's say if I have really bad cramps or something, and the scene, like, I have to be super amped up and have a lot of energy, like, I can use that. Like, don't pretend like it's not there. Like, accept it. And then, who knows what could happen in the scene by me being like, it sucks. It sucks, and then look, it ends up being funny. So like, use whatever you're going through. You don't have to make it disappear. And then another thing I would say that I do is probably just, I think about the outcome. I think about how, okay, this is going to suck doing it because I don't feel like it, but I'm going to be glad after it's done. And I know that because there's been so many times where I did something I didn't want to do, and the outcome was great, or I got good feedback, or I got a call back, or I was really proud of myself. And so since I know that already, I already know, like, going into it, okay, I know I don't want to do this, but it's going to be worth it at the end. Think about the outcome and how good you're going to feel accomplishing it. Okay. And then use it.
And for singing, how did that start to like take off? Because you got EPs, you got EPs out, you got new singles out, like, you're on the soundtrack. Like, how's that been going for you?
It's been great. I was able to connect with a new manager a couple years ago, and since connecting with her, I've really been able to like take my music passion to the next level, because I didn't really have a team in music, like I said, and like finding producers, it's just like, you know, it's a different thing. So now that I have someone with me by my side who gets my vision, gets who I am, and don't play, you know, and she's a woman, and so I feel like we're killing it, you know, and so it's been really good. You know, it's really hard to be an independent artist. You're learning a lot of things and going through a lot of things like this. Like my stress level, I have to pray for inner peace every day, because my stress level with the music stuff is insane.
What's the most stressful part about the music? People
not crediting me on songs I do, or you know, people switching up on me, just like things like that, where it's just like, y'all forget I'm from Detroit. Y'all forgot I was from Detroit.
That Living Hollywood shit fool y'all.
And then, you know, being independent, being fully self-funded. And then, you know, so it's like planning my own music video and planning, like I have a photo shoot I'm trying to plan for my EP cover art. And it's like, okay, got to figure out makeup, hair, wardrobe, studio, lighting, you know, my creative sheet, you know what I mean? So it's a lot. It's a lot. Because you're the boss. I'm the boss.
You're independent. So
I'm independent.
You run everything.
Exactly.
So all of that, you know.
And it all costs a lot of money. Like music videos are so expensive. They're so expensive.
But
editing.
Like you said, it's the like if you think about the end product. Like, what it's gonna be like at the end.
Exactly.
Like that song blows up, or you know, somebody's like, "Oh man, we would love to pay you or use this song." And like, have you thought about that? Like putting your songs or like licensing your songs and like.
Well, one of my songs actually just got licensed on a Stars show called Flatbush Misdemeanors.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm pretty sure it's on Stars, or is it Showtime?
I don't know. I'll do my research after I edit this.
So I actually did get a song license, and so Flatbush Misdemeanors.
And how did you go about, like, how did they?
Well, they reached out to me. I believe the writer of the song, the co-writer, she and her manager, I don't know what connections they had, but they got it licensed. And then I received an email like, hey, we want this song for this episode. And it's on there and it's on TV and everything. What? And then, and so I would love to get like a sync licensing deal so that I can be on more TV shows and things like that. Yeah, but that's a great first one. Like prime time, like. Dang. Yeah, it's awesome. With music, I'm learning you got to play the long game, and it is a business, and the music business is way different than acting. Like we think the acting business is music is shiesty, and it's just it's like I'm really just, you know, I pray for inner peace every day, and I'm just trying to remain as my light, as the light that I am through the industry, and not let it. You know,
does it help being an independent artist in the music industry as opposed to, I guess, like signing to a label or something? Like,
I think there's
where the shicey business could be, but since you're at the helm of everything, does that help in your pursuit?
Think so. I think so. I think there's pros and cons to both, because like if you're with the label, you have like probably more protection and more money to protect yourself, and like, you know, just more resources and access. Whereas independent, it's like, if I want to put this song out on this day, I'm gonna put it out. Because I wrote it.
Got you.
You know, like it's versus their timeline.
Yeah, and, like, you know, we got it. We had this artist that's dropping that date, so we want to do this
6 months from now, and it's like no. So I'm grateful for the freedom, but it is a whole. I'm like, I feel like I'm back in school again. So, but you know, at least we're alive, and like, you know, there's still so much to learn every day, and it just means you're alive. So I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna play the long game, and I'm gonna put my music out in the world.
Love it, and just to go back to act, you said you were with A3.
They used to be Abrams.
Yeah. How did you get with them? Like, so you went from Danny to them? Like, how did you?
So I went with, my management company, Lou Baracklin, Mara Santino, she was shopping around for me for new theatrical agents, met with some didn't, you know, connect to me. And then I met with Abrams. And I met with Fatmata, I believe, and she was like, let's see her do an audition. They sent me an audition to do like a mock audition. I don't know if they were sure about me yet once they met me, but then I did the mock-up, killed it, And then I got signed. Like a lot of people say like, oh, they can't really talk to their agents. Like it's like they mostly talk to their managers and the agents kind of, but it's like, no, like I be on three-way with my manager and my agents. I be texting my agents. Like
how important is that?
It's important to me because of my personality type. Like I need that. I need to know like we're all in the same boat, and you see me. It's important
for like even all people who ever are looking for agents is like know what you want, and know what you want out of your representation.
Yes.
So that way, when you're setting up these meetings and you're meeting different agencies, you know what you want. You're like, I don't really you don't really like emailing? No, I'm more of a phone call guy. I don't want to do emails.
Exactly. It's just like dating.
Exactly. I always say that. I always give that analogy. Is just like dating. It's like we don't really mesh. You
cool.
Yeah, you cool.
You got a nice okay, but maybe not for me. And it's like one piece of advice I would give is you need people on your team who are excited about you. If they're not excited about you, GTFO. Because you need to be excited about me. You want people on your team excited about you, who see you, who are rooting for you, who are fighting for you. You don't want people who are passive and just like, oh, you just sitting on the shelf. You want people who are amped up about you when you're who vouch for you. They pitch for you like she just did this, he just did this. You must see her now. Not just a submission.
You don't want to just be a number or a name on a list
or a look. When they're sending their top 5, well, for me, I want to be in there.
Exactly. But that's what you should strive for.
So relationship is important too. Like they have to know you. They have to get to know you. Like before COVID, before Coviana, I would go visit my agents and like go see them, let them see how I'm looking. And then every time I would go into the agency,
Get an audition.
I
did the same shit. I would notice that. I was like,
I just left.
I was like, I just left because I would always go in. Like, I always would find an excuse to be in the office. So I would go, I'll have, like, instead of them mailing my checks,
I'll go pick it up on Thursday.
Or I just go in and, like, stop by and say, what's up? Or, like,
that's important, y'all.
It's important to build that connection with your reps.
But
I would definitely do that. And, or if I'm booking and I want to like say thank you or something, I'll drop off a cake or something. I'll do something like to show my appreciation. And every time it's like clockwork. Every time I leave, I get an audition. I'm like, I'm about to be coming up this motherfucker every day.
Yep, exactly.
But it's very important to build that, that relationship.
Like my agent, my reps, they know me.
Yeah.
They know my essence. They know my personality. That's why all the auditions I get are spot on. And if one slides through that I'm not connecting with, I just kindly pass. But majority of my auditions, they're me.
Because they know who you are. You're not just a head on a fucking sheet of paper.
Exactly.
They're not just going to see you in thumbnail and it's
like,
oh she'll fit this.
It's like, no, this is her personality traits. This is what, and I love they be sending me singing auditions too.
Because they know. So you need to express that. Like if you sing, if you have any type of
football
special
player.
if you have any type of special skill,
you got to tell them that.
Express that. What's your favorite football team, basketball team? What are your hobbies? Because they take note of that shit and they will put that in submissions and they'll be like, oh, Rickey loves football, so I'm going to put him in this because I know he'll be good for this. Oh, no, this is his team. Yes, let me really get and pitch him on this. So,
or I know his energy is like this and he fits this. Like, and I'm so grateful for auditions.
Yeah, man.
I'm so grateful for auditions.
Yeah.
Man, and sometimes it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
It gets overwhelming sometimes because you're just like, another one, I just did 3 that I loved and didn't hear it back, and now I got another one, and it could be, draining, but it's like, I'm grateful at the end of the day to receive an audition.
Oh, yeah. You need to be grateful because a lot of people just want to get an audition.
Exactly.
Like,
a lot of people want good, decent representation.
It's like really take account and really appreciate every single part of what you have. It's like, man, I got good representation. That's a plus.
Because
people be having agents that's not even out here, and it's like, damn, what the fuck? And they just so they can have an agent, but they're not really getting them out on real projects. So
they're not even doing what they want to be doing. It's
getting an actual good audition is another. It's like, yo, you getting actual great auditions. Count that as a plus.
That's a plus. So it's like everything, even if I don't get them,
It don't matter. You still got it.
Yeah, I still got it. I'm in here.
You're in the game.
I'm
now.
in the game.
Yeah.
I'm in the game and I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I just got to remind myself to be grateful.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's it, bro. We're going to go into a little speed round.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. That's fun.
Yeah. Let's see.
Rickey!
Let's see what we got here.
Oh, my God.
We can throw your way.
Oh, my God. Okay.
All
I'm
right.
excited. I've always wanted to do one of these.
Oh, it's one of those.
Okay. Hit me.
The first thing I do when I get to set is blank.
Snacks.
Snacks, yeah. The first thing I do when I get to the studio is blank.
Talk.
Talk? Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I like to really talk to my producers before we go in a session, because a lot of those times we use whatever we talked about to create the magic.
Okay. Okay.
So we usually have like therapy sessions and stuff.
All right. All right. Cool. First thing I do when I get an audition is blank.
Pray.
All right.
Pray that it's going to be something I love. Pray that everything's going to align. Pray that the sides aren't going to be 16 pages. Pray that I'm going to connect and kill it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. If I wasn't acting or doing music, I would be blank.
Eating indefinitely.
Eating indefinitely.
Y'all, I love food.
Okay.
I just be living on an island just eating.
Besides acting and music, I'm also really good at blank.
I don't want to say food again, but I'm really good at cooking.
Okay.
I feel like I'm really good at loving people.
Loving people. All right.
Loving people. Yeah. I'll say loving people.
Okay. Besides Will Smith, Denzel Washington, the big juggernaut, movie star actors, who would you like to share the screen with?
I really love Kerry Washington. I love Viola Davis. I love Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
Those three women, I love their acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would really love to work with all my friends.
Okay.
So, I would love to do a project with you.
Man, everybody keeps saying that, man. I think y'all just saying it because y'all on the podcast, man.
No, I'm serious. I want to work with my friends because we're all in this.
Oh, yeah.
We're in this, you know where we're at. It's like we've all about to just pop.
That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It is going to pop. Everyone's like, damn, this is crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man.
And so I really want to work with my friends. I want to
that.
create and be on the major sets and studios with my friends we're all on the same level right now.
Love it.
That would be amazing.
Who would you like to collaborate with musically?
Janae Aiko,
Ooh.
who I love her so much. I love her music so much.
Yeah.
I've really been liking Money Long.
Okay.
Yeah, Amel LaRue is one of my favorite artists. Cranberry Ray.
You got a list.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could choose any genre to act in for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Drama. Yeah, I love that emotion.
Yeah.
I love getting it out.
Ugh. If you ran Hollywood, what would be the first thing you would change about it?
I just wish there were more people in charge at the highest levels that looked more like you and I.
Okay. I like that.
And didn't feel so I don't know, I don't like that ownership feeling. Where it's all of a certain people are kind of running something.
Yeah.
It's kind of ownership.
Yeah.
And only telling stories because there's money behind it versus telling them because there's actual importance.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I like that. The apocalypse just happened. Zombie apocalypse is, here. You're locked in this bunker. You're going to be there for a long time. You get one movie, one TV series, and one album.
Oh my God, this is so hard.
What are those? What is that movie? What is that TV series? And what's that album?
Oh God. One movie, one TV. Okay, TV series, Girlfriends, hands down.
Girlfriends, my
girlfriend. Thick and thin. That's my favorite show of all time.
Okay.
And then album. Dang. You know what album I just love? Acoustic Soul by India.Arie.
Oh, India.Arie.
Yeah.
Okay. India.Arie.
Okay. Brown skin.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for a movie, don't laugh at me, y'all.
What is it?
It would be B Movie or the Home Movie. They're both animated.
B Movie or the Home Movie?
I think the B Movie, yeah. The B movie.
Oh, the B movie, like that animated. The B. I was like, just the letter B, but it's the actual B.
That's like one of my favorite movies.
What?
It brings me so much joy.
I've never seen it.
Have you seen Home?
No, I don't.
It's the one Rihanna and J-Lo are in it.
It's an anime.
Yeah, and it's like a little alien and.
I'm saying it.
Oh, it's
so you like animated films? Okay,
yeah,
so B or Home.
They keep me, with my child like.
Okay, that's your answer. That's your answer.
Yeah.
Fuck one, marry one, kill one. TV, film, commercials.
Marry commercials.
Okay.
I'm a FTV.
Okay.
And I'm a kill movies.
You gonna kill movies? Joi, this was amazing.
Oh my God, we did it!
We did it. So this is your camera right here. So tell the people, where they can find you, like on social media. What do you have next? Both sides, the music and the acting side.
Okay, so with music, I have an EP coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. And my music is on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, Tidal, you name it. Okay. So stream my music, Joi with an I, Joi, last name Liaye, Liaye. Listen to all my songs, and with acting, we still putting this work in. Yep. I'm gonna get a call after this.
Come on.
I'm about to, it's time. But yeah, you can find me on social media, Joi Liaye. Check out my food page since I love food so much, Vegan with Joi.
Vegan with Joi.
And yeah, Twitter, Joi Liaye, everything Joi Liaye.
Okay, and what's the name of the EP that's coming out?
Perfectly Honest.
Ooh, Perfectly Honest.
I got that sneak peek.
Come on now.
I got that exclusive.
That exclusive.
Hey.
That exclusive.
And yeah, check me out on season 4 of Dear White People.
Season 4.
And
who you play?
I play Aisha Vital. And let me just say this, because earlier we were talking about how important it is to live your own lives.
Yeah.
Rickey, I don't know if he told y'all this, but he has Black Actors Rifle Club.
Yeah.
Black Actors Rifle Club. And so I was able to shoot guns for the first time and became super comfortable. Then I booked this role in Dear White People where I have to shoot guns, and I'm teaching the other character in the scene not to be afraid. And Rickey was there teaching me not to be afraid.
Come on.
And look how I got to use that in the scene.
Come on.
Go live your life.
Go
experience things. Go, because that all contributes to your acting in every role you play.
That's amazing.
Go get some experience. Go get some experience.
You never know how you're going to apply it to your career.
Yeah. Learn that Spanish.
Learn that Spanish.
Piano.
Yeah, because that separates you too. That separates you in the audition, because not everybody has those tools in their tool belt.
Exactly.
So I remember I booked some shit that was Spanish. The TV show My Dead Ex on Netflix. Go check that out.
Hey.
But I had a whole scene in Spanish because we was in Spanish class, and I was good at Spanish. And then I'm rusty now, but I was real good at Spanish when the audition came, and I was like, oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Did it, then booked it. The whole scene was in Spanish, and then it's just amazing to do it. But not a lot of people can speak Spanish.
Exactly.
So it's
that preparation. You already had it.
Mm-hmm.
Even this year, I was called to go back to dance classes and get more in my body and dance more. And then the thing I was recently up for, they wanted me to be able to dance and send them a dancing video. And it's I just took a dance class last week. Versus me, but if I didn't take any classes this year, I would have been oh my God, freaking out. Wait, I haven't taken dance classes in years. I'm prepared.
Up on it. You prepared.
Yep. Yeah. So just work on yourself as a human and as an artist, and whatever feeds your soul and your creativity, whether it's painting, whether it's drawing, whether it's poetry, you never know.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any last minute tips for the viewers, the aspiring actors or artists coming up in the game that they're man, I want to get on Dear White People, or I want to be on these shows that you're on? What can you, what kind of advice or tips that you can lend to them?
Just keep working on yourself, on your self-development, on your spiritual development, on your physical development. Keep working on yourself. Mm-hmm. Just stay focused on being the best you can be in all aspects, and never settle. Don't settle for representation, for roles, for anything that doesn't feel good for you and your vision. And just keep at it, and surround yourself with people like Rickey and the people I have in my life too, who just we uplift each other, we help each other, and we're in this together. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank y'all for checking out another episode of Givin Game Podcast with my girl, Joi Liaye. If y'all like this, make sure y'all comment below, subscribe, like it, follow the station on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. All my listeners out there, y'all make sure to follow the station. We got some amazing guests coming back, and it's going to be dope. So until next time, we'll see you next week with a new guest with some new game. We out. Peace.